Best of r/entitled parents episode 36. This is from my girlfriend's point of view. So I was standing in line at this clothing store, and was waiting just like everybody else when this classic looking Karen stands in line behind me. Her spawn keeps complaining about how she couldn't get her size and how she's been looking for one of those forever and how she's gonna be humiliated at the Christmas party tomorrow and how frickin' sad she is because she doesn't have that ugly Christmas sweater. Important to mention, I was getting that Christmas sweater for my whole family since I wanted to do something nice for my family this year, and I had grabbed the last one in X size for my little sister. Now I was getting worried, as I have the size she needed, and my mum, who's shopping with me, starts listing the goddamn sizes to double check, which is perfectly fine, but the Karen is 2 inches from us. She then utters this ungodly "excuse me" and I begrudgingly turn around and say yes. She then responds, "My ex wasn't able to snag a Christmas sweater like yours, and we heard your mother list the sizes and you have X size. Would you mind letting us buy it since you're getting lots of sweaters?" I reply, "No, this is for all of my family, and I'm not gonna give you my sister's sweater. Sorry. You should try other mall, it might have it." At this point, X starts loudly complaining about her not having the sweater. Betekni it. She's going to a Christmas party and she'll be humiliated if she doesn't have it. Me, like I said, this is for my sister, not for you. Try other mall. Why can't you drive to other mall? Me, because I don't have to, as it's not my fault you didn't get X sweater in time and decided to go last minute. I then begin to pay for the sweaters. Could you actually put the small size sweater in a different bag? It's for me and Ek. Me, what? No it's not, it's for my sister, for the millionth time. No it's not. Me, yes it is. Now please leave me alone. Why would I leave you alone when you're trying to steal my angel's sweater? Me, because your angel's sweater belongs to my sister. After I say that, I just walk away and continue my shopping. Later that day, I go to get some food because I'm starving, and as I'm eating I notice X sitting a few tables in front of me wearing that sweater. I then count the sweaters in my bag, and sure enough, one's missing. I then tell a security guard what happened, and he follows me to M and X location. He then interrogated them. G equals guard G, "Mom, I've been told that this sweater is stolen. I want to see a receipt." I threw it out. G, "No problem mom, which store did you buy this from?" Store name. G, "Alright mom, follow me please." I follow them as well. They then ask the cashier if she bought the sweater here today, and when she dismisses the cashier's word because that's not the one who helped us, they check the security camera footage and sure enough, they saw M and I fighting over the sweater. This obviously raised suspicion, but it wasn't enough evidence. So we all went to the main security office type place, IDK what it's called LOL, and sure enough, while I was paying for my order and waiting for it, Ek managed to stick her grubby hands into my shopping bag and steal the sweater. I then also gave the security guard my receipt which clearly showed that one size small sweater was missing. Needless to say, the police were called, and they were not happy. Thank you. Next. So my sister, 25, has 2 kids, 4 and 6, and the 9th of December, and she decided to get her a unicorn pinata. She didn't use the pinata on her birthday because we didn't have time. Well, a few days passed and I asked when she was going to use it and she said, "Oh, we didn't have time for it, so we gave it to another kid." She did this after she got her daughter so excited for it and ended up taking it away from her and getting her really sad about it. Now a couple days ago she decided to go to California to see her husband family and didn't get her kids anything because the road trip is a Christmas gift to them, while also the same day getting $20 per kid for a Christmas gift from our grandparents. She went to the store and spent $10 on them both for gifts and kept the rest to save for the kids. She has done this before and spent the extra money on beer and smokes and had to be told to spend the money on them or they will be basically cut off from the whole family. She's constantly putting herself before her kids. I have a few more stories of her doing this, but I don't have time to post them yet. TL. Our sister tries to spend her kids' Christmas money on herself and doesn't get them Christmas gifts. Thank you. Next. I don't know what the fuck to do anymore at this point. I don't want to be here at all anymore. and I'm probably just being an overdramatic asshole at this point, so feel free to report me for posting this. I don't fucking care anymore. So my dad left a note for me attached to the cabinet door handle, right? But I didn't see it, and he and his girlfriend come home and immediately get furious with me because it had instructions on it for what I was supposed to do today and I didn't do those things. I was trying to finish clearing out one of the user folders on my computer so I could delete it, and my dad was sitting on the couch across from me and starts glaring at me, and I make a comment about him doing that and he starts screaming at me. He said all things about how I was doing nothing and that I'm purposely making his girlfriend upset and that I'm the reason he's so stressed because everything I've been doing has just been done to push my own agenda and that I didn't care about what happened to him at all. I told him that what he was doing was guilt tripping and that it's an abusive tactic, and I wasn't even raising my voice or being aggressive at all, but he said that I was abusing him, and I don't know why, but that feels like it's more accurate than him neglecting me, and I just want to fucking use the razor blade in my drawer and I know I sound really fucking attention seeking right now but I couldn't fucking do this anymore. I've had to deal with this for 3 fucking years now and I can't keep going like this but I don't know what I'm supposed to do because I can't just get away from here. I don't have anywhere I could stay or anyone I could get help from. And I've already called DHS and they aren't doing anything and I'm not just scared of what my dad and Kenny are going to do but what I'm going to do to myself. I can't cope with stress well and I locked myself in my room so no one can get in because I don't want anyone around me anymore. I can't fucking do this. Oh, don't even know what I am supposed to do right now and I don't know if anyone can help me anymore. Thank you. Next. A crossover between here and JNMIL because why not updating you guys' blessed holidays with the letter from hell. Been spending the Christmas at my mother-in-law's house for a week and it is always wonderful each time I get to be with her. She's truly a cool cat. What's not so cool about this year is my JN, adoptive, mother sending her a letter. When she was here with me and my partner, she's got a hold of my Mil's address. The first time was sending her a package which really set Mil off. Why? Well, she doesn't like my JN mother due to many apparent reasons, but one of them was her disagreeing to how I was raised by JNM. Anyway, this year, to pop things off, Mil got a letter from my JNM. Mil was already over her so when she received the letter, she didn't think much of it. She didn't open it until we got here because she thought the letter might have been to us and that it'd be best for us all to hear it together because she knew she might tear it apart herself. In this letter, JN mother complimented her at first on her housewife skills. She complimented my Mil's cooking while she plastered her food with ketchup and mustard. She complimented Mil's house while going around and bashing/making small comments about how the house is so small. She also complimented Mil for being there for me, sarcasm or not. She has always been there for me so JNM can suck it. Then comes the storm. She reminded Mil of all the warnings she gave to her while she was here regarding me. She asked in the letter if I had shown her my psychopathic self just yet. She also made it clear that she's sorry for how I have been towards Mil and how she's ready to take me and my daughter back. By now I'm sure you realized how crazy OP is. I'm so sorry. Your kind, generous, and handsome son should not be with someone like OP. He deserves better, truly does. I have a bunch of people at my office telling me so. Then she went on about how I forgot my roots which made me a terrible person. I forgot my roots and would not take care of her, the rest of the family, while I had been selfishly enjoying my luxuries in this wealthy country. The family had been suffering because of me and the lack of support they got from me which consequently putting the family in a tight spot. Side note, the family JNM mentioned meant herself and my grandmother who had no problems treating me like shit, manipulating me like crazy, and turned a blind eye when I was abused. OP is a bad daughter. That shows how she is which isn't okay. The health of her daughter and her husband, your son, and I am sorry for that. She left us here in poverty and would not help us out at all. Very bad. Then she went on about how she suspected me abusing my own daughter due to our past FaceTime chats. My daughter would look at me for answer and clarification when adults say certain things she cannot make sense of. And, since it's JNM, I doubt a 3 years old could make any sense out of her. I see Up's daughter look at her with fear. I am scared, mama. I am scared for my precious granddaughter. Can you check on them, mama? Yes, she calls my mill mama because I usually call her grandmother, for obvious reasons, but J&M calls her that so she'd be loved, considered adorable. Anyway, she ended the letter telling us the story of how my grandmother had been having it so badly, always whining after me and had been doing bad in health. Mill read the letter, my partner translated to her, and she got very upset. She asked for the letter then threw it in the fireplace. She made it very clear that next time J&M sent her anything again, she'd send them back right away and block her right away. I have been in no contact with J&M and never got anything from her, but my Jimmel got this one letter and it's so full of craziness. It's strange. It's insane. I am dreading that one day she'd just automatically pop up or something. Scary. TL. Dr. Adoptive Mother sent my mill a letter with a bunch of spiteful crap about me. Thank you. Next. I'll start with names. EGM. Entitled Grandma. EGP. Entitled Grandpa. B. Brother. Me. Well, me. So, I spent the night at my grandparents' with my brother, right? I get changed in the bathroom, as I need to use it and I feel uncomfortable in bedrooms. B has to use it as well. Instead of going to the fully functioning other bathroom, EGM opens the door, roughly grabs the arm, and throws me out, when I'm not even fully dressed I might add. I get pissed off and say something along the lines of there's another bathroom that he can use. It's an invasion of privacy and really rude to throw me out. EGP starts yelling at me and starts going on about how I'm a spoiled brat. I just run to my room and lock the door. Thank you. Next. I'm sorry if the title sounds weird. I've been up since 2 AM. This is about a mother who was my teacher in middle school and in my church. This mother thought very highly of herself. Mainly because her husband was in the army. Never mind my uncle was in the military too, but my aunt never paraded around like a peacock. But also because her children were quite intelligent. This lady didn't like me. I read Harry Potter, which drove her mad. I once used my middle name on a piece of paper and she growled at me to never write it again because she couldn't understand it. I spent most of my time reading, which made her mad because I was ignoring the other kids in my class. Despite her own children doing the exact same thing. She once saw me skip down the hallway and told me to never skip again because ladies don't skip. I, of course, looked at her and continued to skip down the hallway. When I was 12, she pulled me out of class to yell about my walking being too sexy. It was a shame because I really did like her oldest son and he liked me. He was nice. But after I graduated middle school I was so happy to be rid of her. Until my nana said she would pay for her to pick me up from high school and drop me off at home. Our house was a 5-minute drive from the school, and my nana was paying her a lot, like $50 plus a week to drive us home. However, this mother didn't like that she had to drive us home. My nana constantly asked if she wanted to drive us home and she always said she was happy to, so she had plenty of times to back out, but she never did. When she picked us up, she would wait around 5 minutes after the bell rang for us to get to the car. If we weren't there, she would drive off, leaving us at school. She would of course keep my nana's money and blame us for not running fast enough to get to the car. Yet, we had to run and fight our way through the whole mass of students trying to leave so we could get home. I struggled in school and she would make snide remarks about my grades and work, but one thing that stuck out to me was when her daughter, who was in the 9th grade, told her she made an A on her advanced calculus, or however you spell it, test. The mother looked at her and immediately said, well, you could have done better. I was floored. Even my nana was shocked. Thankfully, I don't have any contact with her anymore. Thank you. Next. I apologize for bad grammar as I'm on mobile. So me and my grandma went to Walmart to get some shopping done. We were preparing for a football party, something we do occasionally for the football game. When we had parked, me and my grandma start going over what we needed to get. The list was long since we forgot to shop the night before. When we were getting ready to get out we noticed a mom with 3 kids. I don't know their ages but I guessed based on their appearance. One was sitting in the kid's seat of the cart. She looked around 4. The other 2 kids were in the cart and looked like 6 and 7. The little 4-year-old girl was screaming and crying, so we were concerned already. But before we could ask, the mom takes out the 4-year-old and drops her onto the hard concrete. The child began crying more and complained about her head hurting, but the M just started yelling at the kid for not listening. He at first didn't wanna intervene as the mom and the kids started getting closer to their car, but then when the little girl started to pull on M's shirt, she smacked the girl's mouth with the back of her hand. My grandma and I then started to head towards them, but another around late 40s couple beat us there. The women started to yell at M for what M did to the little girl. Get this, M was defending her action and started saying things like discipline is discipline, I can do what I want, it's my kids. The EM's BF started yelling to M to just get into the car, but M wasn't having none of it. She then looked at us and said, don't you think I should be allowed to discipline my child how I want? Seeing the little girl still crying in the car, I really wanted to say something, but my grandma did instead. She said, you smacked your kid and that is not discipline, that is just wrong and abuse. This enraged M. She then started cussing and screaming at everyone, even her BF. Things started escalating so fast, my grandma whispered for me to get in the car and call the cops. I hurried and got into our car, which was only a few feet away. I called the cops before getting out and coming to my grandma's aid when everyone was yelling. Not too long after, the cops showed up and she was arrested. The BF was also arrested because he had warrants out for his arrest. Not sure what for though. The female officer had calmed down the children and offered to buy them candy from the store, but not too long after their grandparent came and got them. We spoke to the grandparents and learned they were trying to take kids for a while now from past experiences, and they were grateful we called the cops. Thankfully the kids are safe now and their mother isn't allowed anywhere near them.